Hello everybody and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. I hope you're well. It's a lovely sunny June day here where I am, and I just thought I'd make a little video about my plans for my practice in June, and hopefully that will be of some interest. I'm going to start with the decks that I'm going to be doing some work with and explaining why. A little run through of a pairing that I'm hopefully going to be using, and then a little bit about some of my non-tarot-y practice. That's a phrase now apparently. Let's get started. So we're starting up with my study deck for the month, which a few people on here helped me choose. This is the 1979 printing of the Morgan Greer Tarot. You can see by its box that it's got some age to it, but then I was also born in 1979 and I'm probably showing similar signs of age, to be fair. There we go, 1979. So my reason for choosing this deck is that obviously it's the same vintage as I am, but also it's my birthday this month, so I have a June birthday, so it just seemed like a really good deck to use. It's my first experience with Morgan Greer, so I thought it was a really ideal study deck. So the study deck is a deck I will choose one card a day from, and then using both the guidebook, if there is one, and my own thoughts, feelings and interpretations, I'll journal on it, just as a way of getting to really know a deck and understand a deck. I've obviously only pulled 2 cards from this thus far, given that I'm filming this on the 2nd of June. But I'm really loving it. I love the fact it's a vintage deck and it feels vintage. The images feel very vintage in both their sort of coloration and their style. And obviously I'm a big fan of vintage. But it also strikes me as kind of zoomed in Rider-Waite-Smith. It's kind of zoomed into certain parts of the Rider-Waite-Smith card. So rather than full body figures, you're zooming into head and shoulders, you're zooming into perhaps facial expressions or maybe key parts of the card. That's just kind of the feeling that I get from it anyway. It may not be, there we go, for example, Page of Cups, you just have head and shoulders. I love this Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that is very, very cool. So kind of riding the wheel and falling off when you get to a certain point. So I think that it really appeals to me both aesthetically but also the simplicity of it, really. It's a very clear read. I think that it's potentially quite a good beginner's deck, I would think. It's very heavily... oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's obviously very RWS in its setup. That's not the word I'm looking for, but hopefully you'll know what I mean. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to know this better. It's my first experience with a Morgan Greer deck, and I really genuinely love it. So yeah, that's my study deck for June, the 1979 version of Morgan Greer Tarot. Okay, so next up we have my deck that I'm planning to use as my working tarot deck for the first part of the month. That is the deck that I will use for spreads and personal readings, and that is the Earth Woman Tarot, and then an oracle deck which I will either use in tandem with the tarot deck or on its own with a sort of single card draw. I've picked these two, which I'm going to use as a pair. They're a really good pairing. And my reason for this is that with Letha fast approaching, it's the time of year when I like to connect with the earth, with Mother Earth, the goddess, and so these seemed like the perfect choice to begin with. I'll just show you the backs. I did actually promise a little side-by-side walkthrough of this pairing to one of my lovely followers on Instagram, so I shall do that now. So yeah, these are two utterly beautiful decks. They're a brilliant pairing. They're I think probably one of the first pairings I've ever used, and I feel quite a deep connection to them, to the imagery. There's a real freedom about most of the images, or a lot of the images, and they show a lot of movement, yoga, dance, and as many of you will know from previous videos, that really speaks to me. And they're just perfect for this time of year, and that's a really, really beautiful card. And of course, one of my favourite death cards there. And they're just a really nice read to use together. They have a real synchronicity to them. And you'll see that the artwork style isn't too far apart on them. And the coloration, the depiction of the figures, the whole vibe of the two decks is perfect. And my daughter would love that card as well. I must show her that because of her aerial skills. Oh, and her horse riding. Those are her two favourite things to do. So there we go. There's an example of the the way these decks work together. So I don't want to kind of waffle on about every card and bore you all senseless, but there we go. That's a prime example of what I was talking about, the sort of movement and freedom in the cards. And actually, that reminds me a little bit of my house, that one in the middle. A little bit. There's no building work going on in that one. That's another dance card. Oh, and that one reminds me so much of one of my favourite places to walk, which is marshland really close to where we are. Yeah, so there's a really personal connection to these cards, but also the Earth Woman Tarot alone is a lovely, gentle, easy read. I always get lovely, comforting readings from this one. And when you combine it with the feminine wisdom, it just sort of has that feel of having coffee with a best friend, or taking your mum out for cake, or just connecting with yourself and just connecting with the divine feminine. I just find them both poignant and I drew that one this morning. Just both poignant and beautifully comforting. And they're just aesthetically lovely together. But also they sort of enhance each other when they're used together. That's a beautiful card for Letha and for June. And I think this is, of all the pairings I use, I think this is, I think probably the most effective. Look at those three together. Just, yeah. Yeah, just the perfect pairing. And I hope you enjoyed that little flick through the decks. So because I tend to sort of use my working deck and my oracle deck on a sort of roughly half monthly basis, depending, it's not that sort of strict. I have plans for the second half of the month with Letha upon us to use the Lunar Soul Tarot for obvious reasons, and the Letha Oracle. And actually I'm just thinking that I might see what they look like as a pairing. I wasn't going to use them as a pair, I was going to use them separately, but shall we have a look? Okay, so this is my first time sort of looking at these as a possible pairing. It didn't really strike me as a good pairing in terms of, you know, aesthetics, I think. But then we've got Lunar Soul and Letha. So it's could it possibly work? What do we think? I mean, trying to look past the obvious aesthetic differences. Yeah, I don't think at the moment it's really working for me as a pairing. I don't know though, because what do we think? What does everyone else think? Do we think this is a possibility? I'm genuinely not feeling it as a pairing. No. I can't sort of... Maybe it's my inexperience, but I'm not sort of entirely feeling the vibes with this particular pair. Ooh. Now, mind you, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here whilst making a video. I know I was kind of set on using the Lunar Soul Tarot, but maybe I could, I'm thinking maybe now of sticking with the Earth Woman Tarot for the whole month, but then pairing it with this Letha Oracle. Okay, let's again have a little look together. This wasn't supposed to be a kind of this kind of me kind of randomly checking out pairs that I haven't checked before, but it's just kind of struck me that see, that's better, isn't it? That's really lovely together. Yeah, look, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? look at that. Yeah, I mean, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Luna Soul Tarot. I think you might have to be hopped back on the shelf now. And I can still use it for other things, can't I? I can still... How many decks can you have on the go at one time? Is there a rule? I don't think so. Surely there's not. Yeah. You see, yeah, I should just apologise actually for my phone buzzing. But yeah, I think that that's probably the way I'm going to go. I feel a bit bad for the Luna Soul Tarot now, but that's good. So alongside my tarot practice, there are some other things that I have planned for June and moving forward. I have my grimoire here in front of me because it's been somewhat neglected of late, I have to be honest, and I want to rectify that situation. In particular, I want to take more of my craft outside and explore that side. I haven't yet told my husband, but I'm planning to build an altar. I have a little sort of tree stump out there, but which I use. But I'd like to build a sort of proper Letha, Earth Mother, Goddess altar out there for Letha and onwards, and just spend more time in nature and appreciating it and connecting with it. I think I'd also probably like to take a few little mini pilgrimages to some local places that have connections to paganism. We have a few of those over here. And yeah, the other thing I'd like to do is get back into some more ancestry work, which has been quite a big part of my practice previously. But since reading Heal the Witch Wound, which I mentioned in another video, I'm keen to sort of explore my Scottish ancestry a little bit more. We have sort of built quite a big family tree between myself and my sister, but we have relatives that were certainly in Scotland during the time of the witch trials. So I plan, if I can, to do a bit more research there, dig a little bit deeper and see if I can find any ancestral connections there. So that's something that if I find anything really interesting, I can maybe keep you updated with, if you guys would be interested in that. And obviously we have the celebration of Letha coming up, which is always one of our favourites, and my birthday towards the end of the month, where I shall be turning the big 4-6. So yeah, so those are my plans anyway for June. If any of them might perhaps be of interest to any of you guys, I can upload some videos, but in the meantime, take care and I will see you all very soon.